Hello. Marissa here, back for this week's assignment. And so for this week, we had to watch or play four different games and answer specific questions. So that is what I did. Okay, all of these games seriously seemed like they were life lesson games or games about how your life is supposed to be and or not how it's supposed to be, but basically the typical journey of life. Like there's beginning, middle, and end. Like you're born, then stuff happens, then you die. And I feel like that game, all these games kind of like emphasize that, except for The End of Us. Well, kind of it did, but it kind of didn't. I don't know. Do these really games play themselves? I would like to say no, but yes. Like, they're all like plan games. So, this is what's gonna happen. It's inevitable. You just have to like join the ride. Games, so participation is required. The End of Us, not really required. You seriously just have to start the game, and you really honestly don't have to do a single thing. It's just gonna take you on the journey, and then it's gonna end. This like same way every time, and it's just the length of the song. So participation isn't really required for that one. And time frame, I'm pretty positive. I just watched gameplay. The only game I actually played was The End of Us. All the other ones I just watched gameplay. But anyway, time frame, that game. Basically, I didn't play it, but my assumption is you cannot move at all and it's still gonna end. Like the game is still gonna end. That big thing is still gonna come down and like make the screen white. It's gonna happen. Like it's inevitable. That's just how these games are. Set structures, no matter what you do, same ending. Are these titles timed, and how does that? Yes, they all have a time frame on them. Passage. That one, I wouldn't say that one's really like timed. It's kind of like as you go. It's more of the journey and like each little thing you go through, there's going to be a last one. So it's not really timed. That one is just more like you go at your own pace, but you will die. Like once you get, yeah, anyway. But all of the other ones seem to actually be like timed. Time frame literally says like 10 seconds and 10 minutes. So there's that. The plan actually is not really timed either. But that one is also kind of, you're kind of just exploring, flying everywhere. So it's not really timed. But The End of Us is definitely timed, and time frame is definitely timed. Gameplay, there's only so much you can do within a certain time limit. I mean, The End of Us, there's not even that game. There's not even anything you can actually do in that game. So that doesn't really so actually, 50% of these games are timed and 50% of these games aren't timed. Describe the virtual space of the environment. How does this affect the game character and you as a player? So as far as the space and the surroundings and the environment that you're in when you play these games, it's gonna definitely, I don't know, affect it. As far as the plan and time frame, it's very like it seems super open and you can kind of explore a lot. Yeah, there are boundaries, but it's more of like, oh, let me go look around or fly around. As far as The End of Us and Passage, there's really only so much you can do. There's not much going on in The End of Us. It's just you and the little meteors just basically. And pass in the passage, I mean, you just walk across or up or down or over and like go around the little barriers and stuff like that. So, yeah, the virtual area and stuff is like very different. So, as a player, it's gonna either limit you or give you like some kind of freedom. What feedback is being used? None of the games really give you any kind of feedback, really, except the passage. In that game, the more you move forward and progress and keep going, the higher your score gets. So it's like, it's telling you to keep going and keep moving forward, like keep going. So you want your score to get higher. And then when you get treasure, your score goes up. And it's just like a typical, well, not when you move, a typical game doesn't have scores that go up. But collecting treasures, score goes up. Moving, keep on going, your score goes up. So it gives you some good feedback. Manner is time being used? So in the passage, it's not timed, but there obviously is time being used because you start in the beginning as a single individual, then you fall in love, and you like, as you keep going forward, this person, this little character, this little pixel character that you're playing, time is going by for them and they're aging, and you can see your character age and your partner age. And it's so interesting because you just see this normal person, and then eventually they get a little older, their hair starts getting gray. Well, actually, the guy loses his hair, and so he just has like that strip part around his head, and then their hair goes gray, and then the loved one dies, and then you die, and yeah. So that's how time is being used. It's like kind of showing life. You're just like aging. In the time frame, time is being used. It's like you're not, I don't know, there's not a lot of time actually being used. It's just the timing, like you're being timed. And then also the time of the game, it says 10 seconds in 10 minutes. So obviously something, you're going really slow in life, in that game. The end of us, basically the length of the game is just the length of a song, and that's how they're using time. It's timed, but that's just the game. The game itself is just a song. And, well, it's just like the length of a song. Like they focused it, so it's like just the length of a song, so you can just focus on other stuff. And there's not a lot of time like actually being used in that game. It's just kind of like, if you don't know that the game is based on like played with the song, then time seems kind of infinite because you're like in space. And when you like think about our space, time moves differently in space, things age differently in space because of time, and how is feedback being used to support all this time stuff? The only thing I can think of that really, I already mentioned it, that actually emphasizes the time being used is the passage game. You can distinctly see like your characters aging and getting older with time as they keep going through the game. And so that's the only one that actually gives feedback. I mean, in the end of us, towards the end of the game, it obviously gives you like, I think it was 3 timers. There was like 1, and like the first 2 were in white colored font, like white colored text, and then the last one was in red colored text. So you really knew that when it was red, you're like, oh yeah, this is the end or whatever. But those are like only feedback things you get. But yeah, that's it for the 4 games. And yeah, anyway, so this is the end of my video. Thank you for watching.